All right. What's up, little baby? All right. So before we get too deep in the weeds, I'm gonna limit myself to three. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. But woof. Um, FAMU's gonna have a little battle on the beach. We're gonna talk about that for sure. Also, I'll fix that in a minute. We're gonna talk a little bit about that stuff. Not a lot of it, but a little bit, because y'all already know what's up, what it's about to be. It's about to be fake so.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings, salutations. We are here for a good time, not a long time, especially tonight, but it's a little on the sleepy side, man. I ain't gonna hold you. But battle on the beach. It's gonna be a little bit of fun. This is probably the closest game that you can get to a beach that I can think of. Outside of like probably what West Florida used to have, Division One, probably as close as it gets. So we're gonna talk about that. But before we get started, look, uh shout out to Scotty. Look, if y'all did not catch the topic du jour, you have been under a rock because obviously everybody, and I mean everybody, is talking about that meeting that happened. So it was interesting. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna like break it down too much just because I promised I was gonna try to be a little less political. Um, so but am I the only one who feels like the people in the meeting didn't realize it was being recorded until like midway through? Just saying. Like, I feel like some people were very bold when they said stuff at first. And by the end, nobody was bold except for the dude fussing about the faculty stuff, which we like, this ain't your meeting. This ain't that time. Like, they trying to get this lady like $1 million. Trickle down economics don't work. Sorry. Like, it doesn't. Let me see if I can just. There we go. It's just a little backlight. Look, I'm a little chocolatey. I don't know about y'all. I I don't play them games. But I'm just saying, because the pink African in the room. For those that are new, I don't call them white people. I just call them pink Africans. Because look, boy, there's one African American right now, boy. I'm gonna stop though. Anyways, he kept dropping some hints, and they were dimes. Like, he just kept dropping assists. Like, y'all know the alumni don't trust you. We have to regain the trust of the alumni. Hey, I don't plan on quitting this board. I plan to continue supporting FAMU. But man, that was some backpedaling. Like he was in the pocket. The brother was backpedaling. Like, I'm just saying, somebody might be watching Fangs Up. Somebody might not be watching Fangs Up. But I'm gonna say it like this. That man said it's not gonna get pretty. It's gonna get ugly. And we better find a way to listen to these people. And he kept saying it. And them jokers just kept pushing through that meeting. And it was like, at some point, they realized, unlike a lot of these Zoom meetings, this one was recorded. And it's still on YouTube. Whew, for your viewing pleasures. If you want to see some people start to go from being very arrogant to getting all of the lemon booty, you can see it live. Because there's a C word that is involved in all this. It's called collusion. Take it how you feel. Take it for what it is. But I'm just gonna say I don't think all these UF alumni and other alumni who have law schools are gonna go quietly into that good night. And little baby is full of it. I was with Scotty. Look, the best part of watching that was Scotty. Like Scotty's reaction, Scotty was all of us. Like his reactions were spot on. Like, I don't always, whatever. But when he's right, he's right. And in this case, one time I appreciate Off Script for publicizing those. Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm like a lot of y'all. This I already paid for. But the way my checking and my savings account is looking, I'm like some of y'all when it comes to that other thing. We can find other ways to support. Like, look, I'm just saying. I think, little baby, I think that's the problem though. Like, I think that's the real problem. I don't think they thought people were stupid. This is okay. I think they didn't think people were going to pay attention. And pay that much attention. Like, I think to a certain degree, you know what? I will say, I do think they thought people were stupid. And I'll quote my dad. Never assume somebody's stupid. Never. Like I look, y'all know I do my summer fun times at the skate game. You would be surprised by some of your cousins that come there slugged out and will work in an escape room like a part-time job. You'd be like, I didn't see you as a escape game type, and they'd be like, oh man, I played this game. I love them. And you'd be like, dang, I'm glad I didn't assume. But I'm just saying, yeah, like again, if you get the chance, you ain't gotta watch the whole thing. And I ain't trying to send y'all to other channels. Y'all know me. I cite sources. Like I do not have a journalism degree from FAMU. I have a history degree from FAMU. So I believe in giving data and credit to where I get it from. But there were some very strong points in there. I would not be surprised if some folks get some uncomfortable conversations in the next 8 to 10 months. Elections have results. And you don't get to make a mockery of everybody, especially the flag. I tell y'all quick, sports-wise, I can't stand UF. But them people are quiet. And some of them are slowly starting to speak up. I'm going to leave that there. So, anywho's, before I get too deep on that, but for your viewing pleasure, it's up there. Go watch it. Because, little baby, I'm just saying, I think they got a plan. And I don't think the Board of Governors nor Ron DeSantis is going to be very comfortable when they're finished. I'll leave it at that. And I don't think the FAMU Board of Trustees is going to be very comfortable either in the coming months because, again, collusion is illegal. We'll leave that there. Anyways, so the Rattler Boosters need your support. If you're not giving to the FAMU Foundation, feel free to give to the Rattler Boosters. Join. They are the team behind the team. I'm just saying, if you're gonna subtract from one place, please add to another. Also, round 1, St. Clair Moraine, we had a great time with Coach. Next week, I think we got Cozy coming on. Don't quote me on that, but I'll double check with St. Clair. But we'll see though, So get a co-host Fridays on Hallelujah 95. Also, you can catch that on your iHeartRadio. So let's just put that out there. And Last little bit, race to 10K. We are trying to raise $10,000 to support the FAMU track team. In particular, Kirk Dawkins is one of our student athletes. He will be in Eugene, Oregon today. So he's going up there for the NCAA Nationals. And he is our 2024-2025 SWAC Outdoor Champion for the 800 meters. So go check him out. Yeah, like I think that's going to be a good time and a good thing. Now, remember the question earlier this week? What was up with the camps? How they were going? I mean, you got a little something for it. One of them is a local talent, Wyatt Crosby, 6'1". I don't know if they changed the weight, but they list him at 370. I'm just saying. He's listed as a guard and a center. Okay. From Florida High. So that's why I said Seminoles. It's not because I'm so biased. And that's weird. Like FSU is a Nike school, but Florida High is an Adidas school. That's wild. But yeah, 6'1", 370 from Florida High, 2024 kiddo who has committed to stay home. So if you're not familiar, Florida High is on the south side of town over there by, I forget the little neighborhood they put the school in. Black people used to own that land, though. So, I'm going to stop there. But yeah, that's a solid get, though. Like, again, we've kind of highlighted this when we're talking about the Howard game. There has definitely been a focus on the offensive line. Like FAMU's wanting to have a rebuilt offensive line. And some of those key places that we all ask questions about. Well, if you got questions, Cozy's got answers. Some of y'all were mad about that defensive line. Okay, I'll lower my hand. Because I wasn't mad. I had questions. But Adion Farmer, 6'2", 245. He's transferred from Fort Valley State. But he's originally from Lake City, Columbia High School, Tigers. They look a lot like LSU if you're not familiar. So, but I mean, depth-wise, I'm happy. I haven't seen his film, so I'm not gonna sit up here and sell you a bale of goods. But what I will say is, any depth on the defensive line is important. And lineage-wise, Lake City, Columbia normally produces good talent. Normally, like that is, it's just north of. Honestly, it's in between Gainesville and Tallahassee. So if you're not familiar, if you've driven to Orlando from Tallahassee, you've driven through Lake City. But it's going to be interesting to be able to see like how this works out as far as that defensive line and a purposeful rebuild. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm not the crazy homer, like keep all the kids home, Cozy. But I like that he is consistently running with local talent. Not saying that there aren't players from all over the country that are good, but it makes it a little easier to keep them when they're local. That's just me. And we got another kicker. So we talked about him being offered. Now he's committed. So Gabriel Perez, 6'2", 200, Southridge High School from 305 in my yayo. He's committed. So y'all kept saying, okay. We kept saying, okay, let me not implicate y'all. Keith kept saying that the kicking problem was a problem and the special teams, something need to be done with it. Even Cozy said, hey, special teams the issue. Yeah, Cozy went up there and was like, yeah, if one of y'all think you're going to hit the transfer portal, I got a backup. Like, I got a backup for the backup for the backup. I think we got like 5-6 kickers right now. Just kickers. I ain't talking about punters. Like 5-6 kickers. Like no games played. I believe it's less stressful school-wise because they're not focused on where they're going to stay or how they're going to eat. They already have home. And it's in-state tuition. Like, Kind of like how we were talking about with our track athlete, Kirk Dawkins. The reason we're trying to raise funds for him and other track athletes, Kirk is not a U.S. citizen, so he don't get any of the federal loans or grants. So he's just kind of out there. So if you do feel like donating, definitely do so. But I want you to look, baby. I think it makes it easier to recruit local talent. I'll tell you, as a person from Tallahassee, it was a lot easier for my dad to tell me I was going to FAMU. Like, I mean, I went to TCC anyway. Like, I got in the fam, but I got my acceptance kind of late. We're not going to talk about that. Like, I got my stuff, and I was like, I got to go somewhere. So, yeah. And I was like, well, I already told them people I'm going, so I ain't going to recant now. But I'm just saying, I mean, I still ended up going there. It's a lot easier to sell that. Like, you can get out of your bed, go to class, do your schoolwork, and go back to your bed. That's an easy sell. You can get a job. Your parents can call some people. They might know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And there you go. Like, it made life a lot easier for me. And I think, going forward, it's a good plan. Like, try to keep the local kids as local as possible. So, also, I don't have all details on that settlement stuff, but y'all already heard AD say that she was kind of ready for it. So, hoping all things go well with that. We'll keep that pushing. So last week, not last week, it was Thursday. I gave you the OBC score. My score is 34-20. FAMU. So that is my photo. I took that photo. I don't have to give any credit to nobody. I did that. It's all me. It's not that great. Pretty average, but I did it. Anyways, I think that might have been my point you shoot too. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I don't remember. Anyways, no, I had a good camera then. I had a good camera that game. But that might have been a cell phone. Either ways, I got 34-20 for the first game. So that means, in my personal opinion, take of how you feel about it. Again, I'm only the defending BCSN Pick'em's champion 2 years in a row. I got FAMU winning 34-20. I think FAMU wins that game. Just saying. Now, the next game is against Florida Atlantic University. Okay, I didn't take this photo. Credit to whoever, runs the FAU website. But that is the ocean. So that is a stadium. That's part of the campus. That is the Atlantic Ocean. So, long story short, the weather ought to be all right. Like, I really think that weather's going to be solid. September 6th. It used to be FAU Stadium, but now it is a Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Just telling y'all. We missing some money. Especially on the Lawson Center. Like, respectfully, can we slap a corporate sponsor on that? Just for principle. Like, it ain't even like, and I know it's the Al Lawson Center, but at this point, just because I'm petty, can we get a corporate sponsor? Just like don't. In the words of Jermaine Jackson, don't take it personal. But because of your affiliations, go on and get that corporate sponsorship going for the Al Lawson Center, just so that it's just the whatever brands. How about this? Even better, since you want to vote for people, make it the McDonald's Center. I'm loving it. Just say it, if you're gonna you're gonna do me like that, at least pay me for it. I'm just saying, don't just do me and just walk out the room and leave me. I'm just saying, look, I believe in RED. I'm telling y'all now, like, I am an Angela Suggs fan. As a matter of fact, Angela Suggs been on the show. We'll call her back. Give her a few weeks. Let everything kind of smooth out. I will say, though, one thing that made me mad, your girl from Princeton, she can kick rocks with sandals. Like, there's money over here that's being spent on athletics that we can divert to the president. When was the last time you went somewhere and paid any money to go watch any college president talk or lecture. And you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm going to stop because that makes it seem like some of this stuff that we put on Larry wasn't on Larry. Like, just gonna stay there. But I think it's a winnable game. So FAMU versus Florida Atlantic. I think it's a winnable game, not just because it's FAU and I want to discount them. It's not that. It is because part of it is FAU and they haven't been very good. Like, can we call a spade a spade? Yeah, y'all know that. I left my playing cards in my car. My cards at the shop. So if we're gonna call a spade, FAU's not really good. Like, look, Butter Pecan and Uncle Ruckus are on my freaking nerves. I'm so sick of them. Like, I tell you, that's the whole reason, because Uncle Ruckus's last name is associated with that person whose last name's on that basketball arena. That's a point period why I need to change. I'm sick of Uncle Ruckus. Anyways, but this is a winnable game. Not to mention, FAU's got a very new staff. And at this point, if you're FAU, excuse me, look, they all want us to be FSU fans the way it's looking. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna feed into that, but yeah, this dude's on a contract year. Like, you got to win this, but this is a winnable game for FAMU. Partially, they are not huge size wise. No Diddy. Like you kind of look at some of our better players. You look at Ace Cobb. Even you go back to what Kelvin Dean was. Kelvin Dean was at this program. Ace Cobb was at this program. Good players. But at the same point, these are also players where they were rotational. Like, I told you, Ace is probably in my top 2, probably 3. I think right now, especially with Quan Lee leaving, Ace is probably receiver 1, maybe 2, depending on coming back from the injury. At the time when Quan was there, I think he was 2 or 3. I think that's fair. But I think when you're looking at kind of what FAU is, 3-9, and their offense is inconsistent. Very similar. And I don't know if they're blaming the offensive coordinator the way we did, but it looks like he didn't get fired. Like, they did get rid of the defensive coordinator, got rid of a couple other coaches. So I think they did get rid of OC. But points per game, talking about 25 points per game, I'm going to give them the home gift plus a field goal. And what that means is, I think in this game, and this is the second game of the season, I think it's a race to 40. Like, if you can score 40 points, this is a winnable game. Like, is it, Mike? Is it? Look, Mike, I need you to work this package together for no Diddy for the trip to Miami though. Like, let me know what's up with that though. Okay, I'll give us one mulligan like how Valley was last year. Anything less than 9-3 is unexcusable. I like that. Let me see. Look, I will indulge that kind of stuff. I'm on that kind of time all day, Mike. Let's see. FAU, Howard, Albany State. Yeah, every game's winnable. Yeah, you're right. You got that. I'm with you when you're right. Every game on the schedule is winnable. This is probably the least. This is the Jackson State game. Are the 2 games where you're kind of like 2 to me, 2 to you, Cozy. But if we're being honest, Mike's not wrong. Anything less than 9-3 is uncivilized. Casanova, you said it's BS? Okay. You don't think every game? Okay. I like that. I like that kind of energy, Doc. I love it. I love dissenting opinions. So, I don't like following the rules. No way. But I think every game's winnable. I think this game in particular, though, you got to score 40 points. Like, you got to. Just because how many players they got. Like we know the new scholarship rules come into play, so that's a factor. FAMU's rosters looks a little deeper than they were last year. No weird stuff, but we're gonna see because they got 3 players you need to know. Jay Card, he's a receiver, got a little height, supposed to be a him. Other one is Jabari Smith. I don't know if he played with Ace Cobb. He's a guy from Orlando Jones High School, but he's not the tallest. Like 5'10", 5'11". No disrespect to people that's 5'10", 5'11", because you're still taller than me. And supposedly they got a quarterback from Western Kentucky and supposedly can sling it. No did he. So I will say I've only seen the stuff on the offense. So for this game, like if you're depending on offense to score 40 to win, you've lost already. Got to have some defense. I agree. That's why I said the race is the 40. I don't think. That's why I said, and that's why I also said this is a winnable game. I didn't say it was a dub. Can FAMU win this game? Absolutely. Do they win the game? That's gonna be where the rubber meets the road, because part of it, both teams travels not in neither team's favor. FAMU's going to be in South Florida 2 weeks in a row. Go to Miami 1 week. Boca the next. The week before, FAU plays Maryland, which that could be in your favor. And the reason I say that is that could be a very physical game. And for an experienced coach or inexperienced coach, how much you play to win? Like, do you go all out and risk it? Like, hey, we don't care if this is a conference game or not. We don't give up. Or do you say, hey, man, this ain't a conference game. Cut me the check so I can get up out of there. Like, that has an impact on the game, because theoretically, you would speculate that game against Maryland might be a little more physical. I'm gonna leave that there. Like, don't muck it up like you did Troy. Should beat Troy. You could. And again, I think, and I agree with you, anytime you're depending on the offense to score more than 24 or 25 points per game, you're asking a lot. Like, you do need a defense to be able to have a spine and do something. But some of that also requires, what are your defensive rotations going to look like? Like, because again, the lazy point is always going to be that games are won on the line. Like, and Mike says, FE is only a wild card. It's because it's in their barn. The only other game to worry about is JSU and ASU. We'll see retribution for last year. We're due for a brain fart. But that's as far as it goes. Okay. You ain't wrong on that, though. Like, you're not wrong on that. I think the other piece is just, it's that other piece of being the FBS program. Like, having that additional commitment to athletics that I don't think FAMU has and is able to make, if we're being honest, especially when, the conversations are the conversations. Let's take money from the 100 in the football team. Man, that sounds great. They only help you generate millions, but you're going to take away thousands so you can give somebody else. Never mind. But I think that's going to be the tail of the tape with this game. Obviously, again, we always say the game's going to be won at line of scrimmage. Can you get some early turnovers? I think that's going to be one of the key things for this game. And can you stay on pace offensively? And can you find a pace? I think that's going to be the new thing with Burris as your offensive coordinator. What's going to be his pace? What's going to be the cadence? Like, what rhythm does he establish and set up? Like, won't score 40 on JSU or ASU? Let me see there now. Okay. I like that energy. Didn't we last year was tight. The year before, didn't we score darn near 40 against Alabama State at Bragg? That was at 23. I was at the game. That was the fight game. We beat them. No, 23-10. Okay. Okay. But again, I don't think you have to score 40 points to win every game. So I kind of want to make sure that's not like, you know, Casanova. Make sure that's something that you're not like depending on. Like you're saying FAMU's got to score 40 points to win every game. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is based on the average points per game for FAU, they average about 25. When you compare and you look and you say most times FBS teams, when they're playing FAMU, scored extra 10 to 20 points. That's where I got the 40 number from. Because as you saw for the OBC, not sure if you saw it, I pretty much said FAMU needs 21 points. Howard's offense is not that efficient. So I don't think you need 40 points to win every game. Honestly, if FAMU scores 40 points every game, you're winning the Celebration Bowl. I'll say that now. If you're averaging 40, you're going to be close. But if you are guaranteeing me 40 points every game, you're winning the Celebration Bowl. And that's FAMU, Jackson State, most teams. Alabama State, Southern, any of the upper echelon teams in the SWAC and MEAC, 40 points per game hard average, not a I score 61 game and I score 20 another. You're winning the Celebration Bowl. So that's why I say for this game, in order to win and to know you're going to win, the race is 40. But I think you can get away with 24 because FU's offense has not been spectacular. Like, so that's why I got that. FAMU in 5. I love it. I love it. But honestly, I think with this game, yeah, it's going to be the offensive line. It's going to be really the run game to a certain degree for them. Like how willing are they going to be to throw the ball around? Because they do have two receivers that are supposed to be dynamic. But normally in this game, it's a running back that kind of takes over. And in this game on both sides, that's going to be the thing for me. Like, can FAMU establish a run? So we'll start defensively because last time I started defense and I went to offense. Defensively, stopping the run is a myth. You can slow it down, but against very few teams are you going to just flat out stop it, like quote unquote. You may hold them below 100 and something, but to say that you're going to hold the team below 60 or 70 yards, it's probably not going to happen. But in this game, can you force turnovers defensively? That's going to be the first question. Whether it's because they're throwing interceptions or fumbling, I think against FAU, first thing is going to be not only can you get turnovers, but can you convert them? Because most times when teams are upset, it's because of mistakes. And those mistakes later on put the offense in a position where they're overly aggressive, meaning they have to throw the ball. Like think about, the FAMU Valley game. Look at that second half. You had to score. Like you had no options. It was there was no, hey, we might be able to get a field goal. It's like, no, I need 6 every time. I need 6. That's a lot of pressure on offense. So if you can flip that and put that pressure on FAU, I think that helps turn the game in your favor. And I think that's a game that can make it close. Because again, early on, you got to find a way to see if you can force fumbles. You got to be able to get good field position is going to be something big too, like on the special teams. And that's, to me, that's coincides with the defense. But additionally, with the Howard game, I'm looking at the DBs to kind of lock them up a little bit. This game, I'm looking really to see, can the D-line be a factor? Can you make the quarterback kind of hold the ball a little more? And can you force mistakes? Because you're able to get pressure from different looks. This is a game where if you're FAMU and you're playing to win, this is the most exotic my defense looks all season. Like, I'm showing you stuff you ain't seen before. I'm blitzing from here. I'm blitzing from there. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Probably running more zone and really trying to let the quarterback. I'm trying to have him shred the offense. My defense, if I'm being honest. Like, but I'm trying to show you exotic blitzes. I'm blitzing from the corners. I don't necessarily love blitzing from safeties unless the safety's just that fast. But linebackers, like maybe dropping defensive ends into coverage sometimes. So, like, it's stuff to make the quarterback read the defense, but second guess what he's doing with the hope that my defensive line can potentially make and create some havoc. Like, and what's the deal with our interior D line? We lost 3D tackles recently. Ash, Alexander, and Pender. I think we're solid. I mean, Ash was a loss, but right after you lost Ash, you did, and I hate to do that, but you did get the freshman in there. I think he's going to be a rotational guy at first, but yeah, Alexander, I never counted him. Not to say that sounds wrong, because he didn't play last year. I wasn't counting him as like all right, replace, on field, da da da. I saw more of like a replacement for a guy like Anthony Dunn, and then Pender. I don't know. Like, so I think looking at our defensive line, and I'll be honest with you, I'll be very surprised. Y'all don't think they might throw that boy from Florida High on the tackle just for funsies? Like, if he is still 370, excuse me. Hey, you just clog up the middle. Just clog up a gap. Like, make the running back bounce to the left and the right, slow down so he can get tackled in the backfield. I think those are some of the things. But I think defensive line-wise, I think we're a little better off than we think. That could just be my bias. But, yeah, you ain't wrong. I like that idea too. Like, that's why I say for this one, FAMU's really I would look for more zone defense. This is not a game where I'm running man. I'm not running a lot of man up, coverage, because I honestly feel like if you're running just a man with nothing over the top, the receivers are going to have some fun. Whereas if you're making the quarterback think and hold the ball, I think you can make some mistakes happen. And I think that's where you're going to have to force FAU to run the ball. And you want them to not be successful at doing it, because it goes back to your point, Kylan. If they can run the ball, that's the difference in the game. I mean, think about the Troy game, and I love how Lil Baby pointed out, we could have won that. Why are you kicking to their best player? Why are you letting their only player get out of hand? Like, I mean, the play caller wasn't great the whole time either. But on neither side of the ball did I feel like, and that's why I said I feel like, that you executed the game plan. I think that's an obvious thing when you look at the results, but sometimes we're so results oriented that we're process poor. Like, you don't look at the process and say, how did they get there? And honestly, I think that's part of what happened in the season. Like, folks just ain't looking at the process and they're just prideful, but that's something else. But I think in this game, if you are looking at the process, it's a close. I do doubt the outcome, and some of that is my bias, but that's just how I feel about it. Now, offensively, this is a game where I ain't gonna say you want to salt the game away, but you want to slow it down. I mean, we know that, but you want to see if you can get the ball to some of your athletes in space. Can a guy like Ace Cobb get the ball in space and make something happen? Can you get the ball to some of your running backs and, let Bo kind of get a couple yards here and there, but let that come in there and be the hammer? Get your speedy back in there, which y'all know it ain't Bo, but still, let your speedy backs come in there and get you some yards too. Like, can you set up a running back rotation that allows you to really slow the game down and make it such that you're scoring? Because you need more than 3. At the early onset of the game, first drive, you get a field goal, kind of is what it is. But you want to get in the habit of getting touchdowns and maybe a field goal here or there, and then put the pressure back on their offense to score. And then if it's at that place where you're scoring, they're not, and the clock is really working against them, that's when mistakes really happen, because then the players are trying to overcompensate. And I think offensively, receiver wise, I think you can compete. I don't think your receiving core is necessarily better than their defensive backs. I'm not that arrogant, but I think you have enough to compete. And I think some of it you got to coach up. Some of this, you're gonna have to draw up plays and schemes to get guys open. You may have to have ways to get the tight ends open, but you got to protect the ball. That's obvious football 101. Because on the defensive side, I'm asking, can you take the ball? And on the offensive side, I'm asking, can you protect it? Can you protect the ball? Can you score? Can you chew up the clock a little bit? Can we get to halftime and it be a 14-10 game? Can it be a 20-14 game? Because we can all say in our own honesty, if it's a halftime score where you're down more than 14, probably is what it is. It's not very likely that a comeback's going to happen if you're down more than 12 points at half. Whereas you got a little lead or you're close, within a touchdown, all of a sudden, halftime comes back. Depending on who gets the ball first, stuff can happen. And I'm not huge on momentum, but it's a thing. And I don't like the momentum as much as confidence. When you believe you can do it and you believe you can get it done, that gives you that quote unquote momentum. So offensively, you got a deep offensive line. Can you rotate them and keep them healthy? Because humidity shouldn't be as much of a problem here as it should be in Miami, which is crazy. A 30, 45-minute ride is all the difference in humidity. And for those people in Florida, you get it. Those who've never been, you're like, oh, it's Florida. It doesn't matter. And you're like, no. We're talking one football stadium that's literally from the top of the stadium, you can see the Atlantic Ocean. Another football stadium that's in, close to Everglades, honestly. It's a completely different humidity, temperature, and all that. So, and I think some of that's going to come to play. And honestly, if I'm being real about this game, I think FAU wins. I think FAMU can win. I think it's winnable. So if we win, don't come and be like, you said that we couldn't. No, I didn't say we couldn't. I said it's not likely. Just like with Troy last year. I said, hey, we can, but it's not likely. Especially after I saw some of the play calling. But in this game, I say it's a race to 40. I'm going to go on the other side on this one. I'm going to say 45. How much I had? Because I don't want to be doubling up on scores. Ooh. I'm going to say 45-24. I think FAU pulls it out late. Just because, as Mike pointed out, they're in their own barn. I think halftime is tight. And their coach is doing one of these with his hat. And he's over there talking about, it's a tough team. We knew this going in. We studied film. And he's giving you all the coach speak. But I will say, I think this is going to be closer than the experts think. I think it could be closer than that score. I know for me, I wouldn't put no coin on it, though. This is one of the games I wouldn't touch it. I ain't wouldn't go to nobody's sports book with nothing. Because it could be a tough one. If the over under is too wide, though, hey, anything like plus 20, That's a question mark. Like, I'm just saying, if it's like 20 or more FAU's favor, uh, if it's like 30, I'm taking FAMU. Like, yeah, I don't think they railroad FAMU like that. Not that I think they have the requisite talent. I just think that FAMU can keep it competitive. So I think if we're being honest with ourselves as fans and as alumni, it's a winnable game. It's a winnable game. It's a place where I don't think this is one of the 100 strips. I don't remember. I seen it somewhere, but I don't think it's one of the 100 strips. But I will say, attendance-wise, this might be close to capacity, depending on how y'all feeling with this whole presidential thing. Like, I know some of y'all staying home. Y'all gonna watch games on TV. I ain't gonna lie. This is probably not a game I'm going to. Like, I don't think they're going to go to the game. I don't either. And I've never been to the football state. I've been on their campus. I don't think this is a game I'm going to. If something changes, I might, like, I gotta see how close Bright Line is to this one. If it's like right there, I'll think about it. But can we just put Humphreys on video and just run that? I'm just telling y'all, like, it took Dr. Beard how long to get that Rattler charge right? Like, he finally got it right. Like, it sounded good at the NAA thing. I was like, it took a year, boss. I'm proud of you, though. But this right here, folks trying to get the 100 to Atlanta because I believe they're scheduled to go to that game. Yes, they are going. Yeah, they are going to that one. As far as I know, I haven't spoken to Dr. Chipman personally, but as far as I saw, I'm almost positive that Chipman put that in the NAA meeting that was one of the games that the 100 was going to. So, and I'll be honest, I think that's the other problem. Like, FAMU going to Atlanta, like, we all know that's a different type of vibe. Like, what game is that? That is, I gotta go to the correct year first. Sorry. Ooh, yeah. That game's like 3 weeks, and after 2 home games, I'm just saying. Yes, I heard those two as well. Baton Rouge, Hunts. I don't know if Huntsville's still on the thing. Because did they bring their band last year? Like, I know the 100's been up there, but I don't remember if they brought their band last year. I don't think I went to that. I did not go to that game. As a matter of fact, the reason I know is because I didn't go see Carson Vincent. So I missed that one. Oh, really? Okay. Look, Mike Road Dogg just looking out. Just saying. The Tampa chapter might be doing a 1-day bus trip to FAU. You're all more than welcome to come join us. Okay. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all stop in Orlando? Like, I'm just saying. The 100 barely made it that cold game. All right, look. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. By that time of the season, I was so aggravated. I was mad. Nah, I wasn't going to that. And I wanted to see Carson Vincent because that's my Sands. Like, literally, we crossed the Sands together same time. I could not. I couldn't convince myself to do it. And yes, they are going to Atlanta. I'm waiting on Mike to tell y'all and confirm they got a bus going to Atlanta. I already know he about to do it with the seats and all. Y'all know might be looking out. I'm just saying, so get ready. It's going to be some fun times. If you haven't already done so, get your OBC tickets. They are on sale. In this game, this is probably going to be, game-wise, I will tell you, one of the more affordable games. As far as, like, price-wise, let's see. I don't think FAU jacks up the tickets on you just because I think this is our first time coming down there in a long time. I want to say 1 year we played them in Bragg, but let me see on their website. Buy tickets. Ooh, it says Ticketmaster is no longer available. Whoops. So I don't see how you can buy the tickets. So, woof. I will say this. Let me go on because y'all know me. I stand on data. We quick to say, fam, you ain't got this stuff right and throw ourselves under the bus. But on here, this is their website. Ain't no purchase, no tickets nowhere. They tell you the history. And when you click on buy tickets, whoops. So don't just be talking greasy about FAMU. And that is, I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my pet peeves. I can't stand when folks are inconsistent about that kind of stuff. Like, if you're gonna be mad at FAMU, be mad. So let's see. On their thing, okay, you do have to click. You can purchase the tickets. You have to click on purchase tickets, and they're only selling season tickets. So I don't see single game tickets up there. So, just put that out there. So for anybody who's upset, I can't buy no tickets for FAMU. Can't buy them for FAU either. So, but I think 45-24. I think FAU wins this second half pull away. But would I be surprised if FAMU wins it? No, don't. Not gonna say that. This ain't FAMU playing UF, UM. Okay, before we head out of here, let's be honest. The last couple FBS teams, excluding Miami, that FAMU played, they were kind of close. Like the UCF game wasn't close, not at all. You could argue, and I'll listen to it, and I would join you that FAMU should have beat USF. I look, when in Tampa, FAMU could have won that game. Look, that's not being a homer. I watched the game. I was there. I was on the field. I think FAMU could have won that game. FAMU definitely could have won the Troy game. Like, I'm just saying, you're due one. It's coming eventually. It may not come for 100 years. But if it came against this team, I think that'd be pretty awesome. But I think it'd also be a nail in the coffin for their coach. So, but not my school, not my word. That ain't my land grant. FAMU is. So, but hey y'all, we're gonna do Thursday. Do this again. Gonna look at that Albany State game. Ram of the bush, and we're gonna look for some more news. Look, it's streets is hot. So, as a member of the street committee, I keep what I know close to the chest, and I keep what I heard quiet. Because, look, unfortunately, as y'all know, and as y'all seen with some of these websites, man, they be reporting stuff, and it don't always be there. What's up, HBC band talk? So, be careful who you get your information from. Cussing on the screen, terrible. But also make sure you verify everything. But also, look, if you are frustrated with the FAMU process, hey, presidents-wise, you know what to do. So it is very interesting to see. I was just saying, and I'll say it again, I don't feel like everybody realized they were being recorded because a lot of those Zoom calls, a lot of the FAMU Board of Trustee Zoom calls are not recorded. They are on Zoom, but they are not recorded. Scotty did something. And I've stated this before. I know within our booster group that I was very active in, that I was like, hey, is there a way to get these calls Zoomed and streamed and recorded so that people can watch them later? I don't think it was coincidental that so many of those Zoom calls were not recorded so that you couldn't watch them later. And I think now the fact that they are, that's a game changer. And it's going to be interesting to see what y'all do over there at Daytona, because some of those people on the FAMU BOT are also on the BOT over there at Cookman. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see, though. I ain't going to say too much because I don't want to get too much trouble. I don't want to get too many calls because they're trying to send National Guard to my house. All right, y'all. So we're gonna look at that Albany State game, and we're gonna see. Hopefully, I'm gonna hit up Coach, see if we get him on, and hit a couple of these coaches. See if we get him on a summer tour, and everything like that. So I don't trust none of them candidates. Like that Pink African said it best. Y'all got to find a way to restore trust, and I do not trust the FAMU BOT. Trust is earned, as Chair Harper said. Trust was also lost. You lost it. You got to earn it back. And unfortunately, with Butter Pecan, Uncle Ruckus, Bow Tie, and that lady from Princeton, I can't trust you. Uncle Ruckus said it best. Don't trust the new words over there. Just saying. And I don't. So, collusion's a crime. All right, y'all. So, for everybody, HBCU Digital Network, try Sponge. She look a little bit like a fake Freddie Brooks from a different world. I'll stop because I'm not always nice, even when I try to be. All right, y'all. So for everybody at HBCU Digital Network, look, y'all stay on top of whatever's going on at your university and mine too. Like, share, subscribe, and y'all already know what it's always gonna be.
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it?